All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is December 8th, 2020. Today we have tutoring after school today. So if you are not passing, do what you need to do. Come see me after school today. Join the Zoom. It's in the main page of the class. Today we will focus on genre characteristics of poetry. We worked on fiction yesterday. Today we're working on poetry. And I will do the work now. I will read, imagine, listen to form my opinion using my inferencing riddle skills and write my answer. And then for our close, our discussion question: if you're not passing any class, not just this one, what stops you from getting the work done? What can you do to help yourself? And it's important that we think that way, right? We've got to do it for ourselves. Carvajal is not with you. You're not in the classroom. So you have to manage it and make it happen. And of course, your positive affirmations can help with that. But let's go into Schoology and Tuesday's work. And just like yesterday, we have a short answer response. And just like yesterday, it is working ahead. So if you do this today, you don't have to do it on the final exam. Remember, final exams are next week. And you've got to get your work done and turned in this week. The latest I will take work will probably be Monday morning. After that, if you're not passing, you have to do your best on the final exam and hope that that helps you. So be sure you get your work taken care of this week. Come to tutoring so I can help you and get yourself passing. Okay, so if you click in here, open up this semester exam prep week 2020. That's this. This is what it looks like. And to Tuesday, today's work, poetry short answer. Let's look at the question first. So write a paragraph that identifies a thematic topic in domestic work 1937. Be sure to include how many pieces of evidence? Yeah, 2 pieces of text evidence to support your response, just like we did yesterday. But instead of a short story, it's just a poem. I've got it just copied and pasted in so you don't have to go anywhere. So what's our question? What are the key words of the question? Identify a thematic statement in domestic work. So to answer this question, all you have to do is literally copy the key words, right? A thematic statement in domestic work is, well, what is it? What do you think it's going to be? What is the message about life or human nature? And you just complete that statement and you've got your what, right? You've used your riddle skills and you're going to figure it out. And then why? Why is that a good answer? You'll explain why. And then what's a good example? You add your proof. You add your 2 quotes, right? And then you explain how they're connected, how they're proving what you say is true. And if you do all of that, you'll get a good grade. And this grade will transfer over to the final exam, so you don't have to do it the day of the final exam. Remember, on the final exam, there's 4 writings to do, 3 different things to read. And by taking care of this now, you have to do less on the day of the final exam. So it'll be a lot easier for you to take care of it. Plus, you'll get a good grade. So let's look at the genre characteristics of poetry. We've already gone over the ones for fiction, right? But these apply to both. The most important one of these is, of course, the top 2, the imagery, specific details, specific descriptions, give readers a picture in their mind. And then figurative language is huge in poetry, right? Because poetry is about emotion. And these similes give you a real sense of what they're feeling. So when you pay attention to figurative language, it really helps you figure out the emotion of the poem, right? And that's the most important thing. Besides using riddle skills, right? You're going to use your riddle skills to figure out what's going on, what the poem means. And if you can use your riddle skills and focus on figuring out what's the emotion of the poem, you can really figure it out. So keep that in mind. Once you know the emotion, right, the mood is how it makes the reader feel. How is it making you feel? And then, of course, the tone is how you think the author sounds, how the writing sounds. So that makes a big deal. Rhyme, some poems don't. Most of us haven't been writing rhyming poems in this class. We've just written free verse. And a lot of people wrote in what's the most important thing you've learned in this class was being able to write poetry and understand poetry, because it's really not that difficult, especially if you're using your riddle skills. Rhythm and meter, older poems have specific rhythm where you have a certain number of syllables or a certain number of accents stressed or words. You usually see that only in older poems. And then punctuation, we spent time on our own poems, writing them, right? Deciding whether we want to end our line with punctuation, which makes them end stopped, or if we want them to speed up and we have no punctuation and it's in jammed. Of course, you can also change your stanza length. How many lines in a stanza? Do you want to make your lines wide and long or narrow and make your poem long and skinny? It all depends on how you want it to look, the format on the page. All right, so let's look at this poem. We're looking for a thematic statement, right? The theme, remember, is the message about life, about human nature. And that's what we're going to be looking for as we read this poem, have it in the back of our minds. What's this telling us about people? What's this telling us about life? So let's go ahead and read. Domestic Work, 1937, by Natasha Trethewey. Read along with me, please. All week, she's cleaned someone else's house, stared down her own face in the shine of copper-bottomed pots, polished wood, toilets she pulled a lid to that look, saying, "Let's make a change, girl." But Sunday mornings are hers, church clothes starched and hanging, a record spinning on the console, the whole house dancing. She raises the shades, washes the rooms in light, buckets of water, octagon soap. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Windows and doors flung wide, curtains two-stepping back, forward and back, neck bones bumping in the pot, a choir of clothes clapping on the line. Near, my God, to thee. She beats time on the rugs, blows dust from the broom like dandelion spores, each one a wish for something better. All right, if you're kind of thinking, what? I'm not sure about this. Good. It's time to use our riddle skills. We know domestic work, right? That's somebody that cleans houses, maybe does cooking, things like that. This is from 1937, right? So this has been a while ago. And notice this. All week long, she's cleaned someone else's house, right? And that's what she's talking about there. Look at this personification. Are the toilets really talking to her? Think about that. Use your riddle skills. And then Sunday mornings are hers, right? So you know where she's gone. And most of us don't have records anymore, right? But we know the concept. You put the record and it spins and the needle reads it. Is the whole house dancing, or is that more personification? And it's interesting because you get the idea it's her day, but look what she's doing on her day in her own house, right? So it's kind of cool that she talks about, she raises the shades, washes the rooms in light, right? It's like the light coming in is washing the room while she is using this, right? And look at these allusions. This is a quote probably many of us have heard. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it's a good quote. And then more personification, right? Are the curtains really dancing? Yeah, people cook neck bones. They're cooking in a pot. And if any of you have seen clothes on a line, I have when I was younger, before we had a dryer when I was a kid. The clothes really do flap around in the wind. And it's kind of cool the way she says it's a choir. So this is full of personification, isn't it? Here's another allusion to some, I think it's a Christian song, Near My God to Thee. And they keep focusing back on this rhythm there. I think all of us at some point, right, have blown on a dandelion and seen the spores kind of float away. And I love those last two lines there, right? Each one a wish for something better. So what do you think is a theme of this poem? What is this poem telling us about life or about human nature? Use your riddle skills. Mr. Carvajal, I'm not sure. What if I get it wrong? You won't get it wrong because it's a riddle that there's no right answer to, right? As long as it fits, it's going to be a good answer. All right, let's think about it again. Let's read it one more time. Domestic Work, 1937, by Natasha Trethewey. All week, she's cleaned someone else's house, stared down her own face in the shine of copper-bottom pots, polished wood, toilets she pulled a lid to that looked saying, "Let's make a change, girl." But Sunday mornings are hers. Church clothes starched and hanging, a record spinning on the console, the whole house dancing. She raises the shades, washes the rooms in light, buckets of water, octagon soap. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Windows and doors flung wide, curtains two-stepping back, forward and back, neck bones bumping in the pot, a choir of clothes clapping on the line. Nearer, my God, to thee. She beats time on the rugs, blows dust from the broom like dandelion spores, each one a wish for something better. And once again, the question, write a paragraph that identifies a thematic statement. What is this poem, Domestic Work, 1937, telling us about life or human nature? Be sure and include 2 pieces of text evidence to support your response. If you're not sure, if you need help, be sure and message me, let me coach you, let me help you. And remember, you are smart, confident, and successful. Let's get it done, ladies and gentlemen.